So, hey guys, how's it going? I wanted to share my personal thoughts and try to persuade you guys in becoming a pilot, as I currently am a pilot, and I'm very passionate about what I'm doing as a job and as my hobby as well, because I consider my job to be a hobby and my hobby to be a job as well, which is very happy. So, the three reasons why I became a pilot was first was the view. As any of you guys who have flown an airplane would know, the view from 38,000 feet or 10,000 meters is amazing. Or actually, even from 10,000 feet, that is pretty amazing. And at 3,000, let's see, 3,000 meters, that is also pretty amazing as well. Which is why I wanted to the pay. That is the first part reason that why I became a pilot. The second reason I became a pilot is the amazing pay. The salary of a pilot is absolutely amazing. I'll go into detail with that later on in the speech. And second and thirdly and lastly is the experience. As a pilot, I've gained a lot of knowledge that I use throughout my daily life and throughout how I spend my time and what I do nowadays, and I act professionally in all occasions. So prior to going to this speech, I'd like to also share a personal experience of why I became a pilot. So when I was a small kid, I think back in middle schoolish, I saw all these planes that flew over my house as I live in Sacheon, South Korea. And that is there's an experimental Air Force base right next to our apartments, which they fly awesome jets every single day, just over our school every single day. And since school was not my best subject, that's how it inspired me. I was like, yep, that's what I'm going to do. Look at the view from that high and just laugh at everybody at the ground. But that has become a reality. But the main reason why I decided to become a pilot and I would like to inspire you guys is my first solo flight story. My flight training started at June of 2016. It was very sunny in Daytona Beach, Florida, done by Embry-Riddle for the summer program. I am still very grateful for them that I got the opportunity to train at Embry-Riddle. But with that flight training program, my first solo flight started at 20 hours-ish in between my flight training. And the very first time I went up there, it was very, very nerve-wracking. It was absolutely nerve-wracking as my flight instructor had left the seat and also taken his headset because he said that he's not gonna lose his $1,000 headset if I crash the airplane. Therefore, he unplugged it and took the headset with him. So that made me even more nervous. But as soon as I lined up on the runway and applied full power, as soon as I heard the prop going at maximum RPM of 2400, it became worse for me as my nervousness almost became into panic. But as soon as I followed my procedure and for my training, I rotated at 55 knots. I made sure my flaps were up and everything was set and lights were on. I was following procedure, checklist by checklist, from climb checklist up to cruise checklist and back to descent checklist and landing checklist in the traffic pattern. I made all my radio callouts, letting Palatka traffic know that I was in their airspace, since this was an Ontario airport. And after three touch and goes, or three full stop landings, not touch and goes, three full stop landings and taxi backs and then taking offs, I had completed my first solo. I almost died during that first solo, as during my last takeoff, there was a huge eagle that almost slammed right into me when I was on takeoff. I asked my instructor if he saw that. He said he was quite nervous as well. But luckily, I survived. After getting on the ground, it's like almost getting on a natural high. The feeling is unexplainable. It's like you have to be there to feel it. And that is what really, really inspired me to become a pilot, is realizing how much freedom there is when you get up in the sky and how awesome it is. It's absolutely breathtaking. Especially what you're able to do with that landing, when you grease the perfect landing on the first solo flight, it's like the best feeling in the world that I still have not been able to experience throughout my flight training, as I'm about to become a flight instructor as well. And nothing like my first solo flight ever beats me to it, which is why that is how I start off telling people why they should become a pilot, is to experience that feeling at least once in their lifetime. It is the best feeling. It's better than finding a girlfriend. That is one thing for sure. That is the best feeling in the world. That is why I'd like to share this story with you guys. But the other thing about becoming a pilot is the view. Once again, I've said previously, is the view from the sky. The sky is like an ocean, but it's inverted. We are flying and we see people on the ground and everything. This view is just breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking, especially when you see the sunset at the horizon. One of the times I remember myself, I was flying to Las Vegas at 10,000 feet, and it was at sunset around going to dark nighttime. It was around winter, so it was pretty awesome going from Salt Lake City to Las Vegas throughout the flight, and that was one of the best views I've ever seen. And I've been able to see the world from a different perspective as I've flown at 10,000 feet and at 38,000 feet on passenger, being a passenger, not a pilot yet. And you just get a different perspective of things from day-to-day lives, from just walking on the ground, driving in the car, from back to work and back to work and back to work and such. And the cockpit is never ever the same, which is why that is one of the reasons I became a pilot, is to always have something different and is to always improve on myself. And that is why the view is an amazing view up there. The second one is the pay. As a pilot, my dream is to go to Cathay Pacific Airlines, hopefully. That is, I believe, currently the world's third best airline, if I'm not mistaken. And their pay is amazing, as I've shown you here. This is the, I don't know if you guys can see it. This is the Cathay Pacific Cadet Pilot Program right here. Whoa, shoot. Right here. Did that flip? Okay, that flipped. Right here, that's the Cathay Pacific Pilot Program. And with that, scrolling down here, now probably the numbers are inverted because this is a view, but it shows roughly 538,000 Hong Kong dollars for an annual salary, and that is around $50,000 US dollars converted. And then as soon as you're done as a first officer, you get 1.3 million Hong Kong dollars, which is approximate of $130,000 USD annually. And that is a pretty good pay, considering you have 21 days as a cadet pilot of annual leave that you get paid for, and 40 days of annual leave as a first officer in the airline. Also, you get to fly one of the best aircrafts out there with one of the best airlines. You get to fly the A380, the 777s, the 747-I-8I Intercontinentals, and many more Freightliners. And it's just an amazing experience with the airlines from my childhood. It's personally my childhood airline. I have been riding there since I was 6 months old up till currently, which I'm 21 years old. So almost my entire lifespan I've spent with Cathay Pacific Airlines. That's why I can definitely vouch for them, that I would like to work for them one day to just give back to the community, to what I have experienced. And that is another thing. The last one is the experience in general. As a pilot, you travel around the world. That is one thing, which is why I also became a pilot. Although I have traveled most places around the world, including the United States, Asia. Only place I haven't traveled yet is Africa, just due to my safety. But besides that, I've traveled all around places. But it's the experience in life. As regular office workers, I guess, like I've seen my parents, they have a bag manufacturing business with 2 factories in Hong Kong and Cambodia. Every day I've gone to work with them. I followed them to work and helped out with their work by managing their baggage quality and make sure that everything is going as planned. And I see them. It's going from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. at night. Every single day it's the same thing, repetitive thing. And I just got really bored of that. That is like it. So that is another thing. It's the experience. As if you guys are tired of office work or doing the same repetitive every day, it is the experience in general of flight training and becoming a pilot. As in flight training, you're a student pilot. Of course, you're under the guidance of your instructor, and it'll be strict, and it'll be tough, and sometimes you'll cry, and sometimes you'll laugh. That is how flight training is. Sometimes there are moments that are really, really sad that wants to make you cry, and sometimes there are moments that just make you burst out laughing. So that is that is the experience of a student pilot in training. And then you become a flight instructor. And as a flight instructor, I'm almost at my end stage of the flight instructor. And I can personally vouch that it is very nervous teaching students how to become pilots and how to be safe and how to enjoy flight and not think of it as work and not think of it as a tough thing, which is one of the duties as a flight instructor. And as being a flight instructor, you can experience becoming a teacher. Like in a regular job, you'd have to apply for a teacher job, you'd have to go there. But as a pilot and as a flight instructor, you can also experience becoming a teacher while also teaching yourself about people skills and about how people learn and how aviation works as you meet more professionals and as you interact with other people in the aviation industry. And then progressing along from a flight instructor, once you get to the airlines, that is where all the goodies happen. It's like I guess I haven't been there, but from my best friend who is also a flight instructor, his name is Cameron. He has told me it is definitely awesome. As he said, he flies, I believe he flies 777 currently. Yeah, I think he got the 777 rating. He said that was his dream. He's in Cathay Pacific Airlines, and he has been enjoying it every single day. He goes from Hong Kong to Tokyo, then from Tokyo to Italy, and back and forth and back and forth. He says the dining experience is awesome. He's a big foodie. That's why he's like, the food and everything is awesome, especially the accommodations. As an airline pilot, Cathay Pacific definitely takes you to Hyatt hotels, Intercontinental, and any other 5-star hotels for their accommodations, which is why that's also another benefit, as you get to do a free stay in a 5-star hotel, enjoy the amazing dining experience, and have amazing holidays around the world as well. And occasionally you get the jump seat and free tickets, which is why that is the experience of a pilot, and that is why I became a pilot and wanted to go into the aviation industries. So concluding this is that pilots in general, they are pretty awesome. You have the amazing view of 38,000 feet. You get to have amazing pay of at least $360,000 once you go into Cathay Pacific and work your way up as a captain. And you can also save up. And with that much time, you can work on your hobbies, enjoy life, and go on amazing vacations as well as become a pilot and enjoying that experience from a student pilot, from a regular person to becoming a pilot. As a pilot is a pilot, and a pilot is not a regular person, it's a pilot. And that is like the best feeling in the world. Once you get your first certificate and the flight examiner shakes your hand and says, "Congratulations, you are now a pilot." That is the absolute best feeling in the world. And that is one of the experiences that you get to enjoy as becoming a pilot. And therefore, if you guys would like to enjoy this experience, I definitely would recommend becoming a pilot. That is all. See you guys later. Bye.